Hi there, welcome to Kapow WoW Life Coach. So today we're going to be talking about self-talk. I know what you're probably thinking. If there's one thing that Mr. Chris is doing, is talking to himself. So we've got to ask that question, what is self-talk? Now, self-talk is not actually what you think it is. It doesn't involve talking, it involves thinking. So it's all about that thinking process. Okay, so and hopefully that thinking process can affect what comes out and what you say. Okay, so we need to understand that all our thoughts, so self-talk, you could say self-thoughts before you talk. Now you're probably thinking, well, that really isn't that important. Well, it is. If I said to you how many thoughts you had in a day, you could have an estimate between 50 and 80,000. Everything we see, we hear, we taste, we smell, we are thinking about. So it's very important what we are thinking in our brain. So there are two parts to self-talk. The first one is negative. Now, negative self-talk is obviously not good. It's very negative. For instance, you might want to do a test. You might tell yourself, this is really bad. I think I will fail. You might have done your test. You might not have done very well in your test. You might then say, this is not very good. I am really bad. I will never improve. Now, what's really interesting, when you start to become a very good learner and life coach yourself, you will start to realize that negative self-talk is actually very similar to, yes, you've just seen it, similar to a fixed mindset. So if you start thinking negative, your words will be negative, and therefore your actions will be negative. So there are negative self-talk people. We've all done it, we all do it. So you've got to try and not do negative self-talk, okay? So thinking you cannot be slimmer, thinking you can't be better in maths or English, thinking you can't have better friends, okay? So that is negative self-talk thought, you could call it. Okay, so we've got negative self-talk. However, we've got the second half to it. Now the second part is positive self-talk. Now this is the most important one. If you want to be Kapow WoW, you've got to start thinking about positive things. So what happens if you are worried about a test? Well, if we had the negative self-talk, that person would say, I cannot do very well in this test. I think I will do really bad. A positive self-talk, let's try. Let's try our best, and I can only try my best by putting in more work, more time, more practice, doing more or doing something. Okay, so positive self-talk thought, you could call it. It's very important because let's say you did a test and your test was not so good. You should tell and think, actually, I know I need to improve. So asking questions to yourself, okay? So it's trying to be positive. And my class did this today, and I said, it's not about what others can do for you. What can you do for you to improve you? Okay, so don't worry about your friend's school, or if you didn't get a very good score compared to your class. You have to improve yourself. And the best people who are most successful want to improve and be better. And that's all about positive self-talk. Now, positive self-talk is better because you will think better, so therefore you'll speak better, and then your actions will be better and you'll do better. And also it affects many things: your confidence, your decision making. Try doing it with friends. So if you're, my class discussed today about if you have friends who are not very nice and positive with you, don't hang around with those negative people. Be positive. Self-talk yourself and say, actually, in my head, I should be around people who are better, who treat me nicer, who respect me and improve me and make me happy. Kapow. So there are many things. Try and do that today. Ask yourself, have I just had a negative self-talk to myself or a positive? Now, it doesn't matter if it's negative, but try and put it into the positive way. Okay? So try and do that today. If you're grumpy, how can I turn that into not being grumpy? What can I do to improve me instead of blaming? Yeah? There are two types of people. There are people who point and find problems and complain all the time, or there are problem solvers and thinkers. Okay? Actually, yes, I know that's a problem, but I'm going to solve it now by doing this. Okay? That isn't a big problem because we can work together. So self-talk. Try and think what you can do to improve and be positive before you speak. Okay? It takes practice. Now, I spoke about this to my class this week, and the brain is an important muscle, probably the most important muscle, because it doesn't just tell us what to do and how to move. It affects our moods and how we think. Okay? So you need to really practice this. I practice this every day. Not all the time it's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Most of the time now, I'm very good and kapow at doing positive self-talk. And like we said, it's very similar to growth mindset. Well done. So it's one of those where practice it every day. The more you practice, your muscle gets stronger, your brain. So it gets more positive, more positive, more positive. So try and think and try and do that. Type a message if you're not sure about a decision or situation, and I will try and give you some advice about how can you turn that negative self-talk into a positive self-talk. And try and do it today. You will not change within 2 or 3 days. That's not going to happen. But little changes every day, little by little, turn into kapow wow by kapow wow sizes and changes. Okay, so try and do that positive self-talk things or thought. Okay, try and do that today. Do it with friends, do it with foods, do it with people at work, your family, your friends, in the morning with people. Try and think every positive situation, no matter how bad it is. If it's really raining, what can I do? Right, I need an umbrella. I could shout at my mum, but she's going to get upset. So what can I do? Yeah, get my coat on. Okay, so think about that. If you're worried about homework, I can't do this homework. Well, that's okay. Ask your teacher, ask a parent. Easy, okay? Or watch Kapow and you can learn. So hopefully now you understand that positive self-talk and negative self-talk. And we want that positive. And yes, you've guessed it, positive self-talk is like, you guessed it, growth mindset. You'll find the more you learn about life coaching and practice it yourself, many things are very similar, but there are different names or words for it. So thank you for watching Kapow Life Coach, and try and do that. Discuss with your family and your friends issues and situations about what makes you think bad, and see how you can work together and discuss, reason and explain how can we turn a situation into a positive. And there are many situations every day, and don't forget, how many thoughts do we have within a day? Yes, between 50 and 80,000. Okay, so please try and do that, because it will improve you, and not just you, but everybody around you, your friends and your family. And you will feel more confident, you'll be more successful, you'll make better decisions, and you'll feel kapow. So think about, what can I do to improve me? I'm not going to blame him and her and it and them and that minion over there. I'm going to make this situation better by moving away or improving it. Okay, so thank you for watching Kapow Life Coach. I hope you understand that, and try that positive self-talk. Thank you for watching Kapow Life Coach.